Hello there, YouTube crew. I'm the real Dill, and today we're going to be talking about Plane. Now, it's led by Mike Coulter and Gerard Butler, and it was described to me as a 90s script that was dusted off during COVID time and thrown back out there with no changes at all. And it's pretty close to that, especially in concept. Some corporate greed sends an underpopulated plane through a dangerous storm which knocks it into a pirate island, and they happen to be with a known fugitive. Now, the movie is led by Mike Coulter and Gerard Butler, and they've given them decently interesting backstories, which not only show why they're able to do what they're able to do, but also just helps the audience root for them. I will say though, I do think they kind of underutilize Mike Coulter's fugitive status, his characters, because I think there's a lot more conflict that could have been mined out of, especially the group dynamics. That really goes alongside how this movie has a really short runtime. And where it hurts the most is within the group of passengers. You have your few stock characters, and then the rest are basically props in the background. I think with more time, you individualize, personalize the specific group members, and you build out the conflict and draw out some of the thematic meanings that the movie wants to get across. I think with more time the movie would be better, and you should be focused on those individual group members. Probably cut a few passengers out so that it's easier to develop some people. And I think you can get more conflict and you can get more thematic meaning by their interplay with each other. And of course, you'd have that mounting pressure as the group is starting to realize that the fugitive isn't the best person to have around, while the captain, Gerard Butler's character, is starting to become more and more trustworthy of him. And so then you have the group really start to not want Gerard Butler to lead them anymore. And that could have been very interesting because he does have a co-captain, and they could have tried to rally behind him, and that would have been a little interesting dynamic to have occurred. But there just wasn't enough time in the movie, but very easily there could have been. Now the villains are okay. I think you could have gone a little further with their characterization and what they're about. It's not necessary. They were all right for what the movie was, but just like the lesser extent to the group as a whole, but still along the same lines, you could have made a much better movie by just adding a more flavor to these guys. I will say the airline damage control people and the rescue team, they were basically right where you need them to be for the movie. I think they were developed perfectly fine. They added their own little stuff to it, and I was honestly pleasantly surprised that they actually had a very effective team for the rescue team. Sometimes, especially in like the '90s movies that this is supposed to be a callback for, a lot of the times you'll have these hyped up like SEAL team and this and that, and they'll get wiped out. But then like the hero and one of the guy will make their way through the enemy despite, I'm thinking one of the things I'm thinking of, which I love the movie, but The Rock sets up the SEAL team and then puts them in a keel hole right at the before they do anything, and they stand their ground and just get wiped out. So I was expecting not exactly that, but I was expecting them to be less effective as they were, but I was honestly pleasantly surprised. Now the CGI is quite dodgy, kind of gives away the budget of the movie, but the action is actually really good, and that's what you're really here for. They beat Gerard Butler up in this movie, and his first fist fight is masterful, very good. It'll get you on the edge of your seat. It's just awkward enough to make it feel realistic too. It's very clever, very visceral, and it's quite fun. Now there is a planned sequel with Mike Coulter. I don't know. I felt this movie was just average, okay. I'm not I'm not exactly looking forward to it. And as for just this movie, I mean, I wouldn't tell you to go out of your way to watch it. If you find it on some streaming, give it a shot. It ain't gonna bore you. It ain't gonna annoy you. It's all right. Well, I guess that's recommended. I'm the real deal. Goodbye.